how's it going? Matthew Bailey Media here, and welcome to another 2025 movie review. Now, this time it is going to be on the second live-action Disney remake that has come out this year, but unlike the last movie that came out, this movie is actually way better than the monstrosity that we got back in March, and that is, of course, Lilo and Stitch. Yep, that's right. It has been 23 years, if I'm not mistaken, since since the animated Lilo and Stitch came out, and this is the live action adaptation of the movie. And I gotta say, the design of Stitch was incredible. I was a little nervous about some of the other alien characters though that were featured in the original. Now, there was one character that wasn't featured from the original. I forgot his name or whatever, but he was a big black alien or whatever that was like a hunting Stitch or whatever. But he wasn't featured in this movie, unfortunately. However, every other villain or alien was, and I will say specifically Jamba and Pleakley, I think is their names. Those characters I thought were, their designs weren't bad, I will say. But I think Jamba was... I am not too thrilled about the way they portrayed him in this movie compared to how they did it in the original. But I still feel like this was really splendid. The girl who plays Lilo in this movie, like perfection. I feel like she is on her way to becoming a pretty decent actress or whatever, because the fact that her first ever role is as Lilo in a live action adaptation of Lilo and Stitch, that just tells you all you need to know. And the fact that they got Chris Sanders to come back and voice Stitch like he did in the original, and he recently directed, I believe it was The Wild Robot, pretty great film, I will say. But the fact that he came back and voiced Stitch was amazing. And again, it did seem like the girl playing Lilo and possibly even the girl playing Nani in this movie, at least they were of some form of Hawaiian descent, and which is where the original Lilo and Stitch is based in. And now I will say though that there is I have a feeling that there's a certain type of fans out there that to me will just complain that it doesn't look exactly like the design of the characters, and specifically when it comes to Lilo and Nani. Because, see, the thing is, in the original movie, that their skin was like way more darker or whatever, and especially Nani. And unfortunately, the girl who they got to play Nani in this movie, I don't think she's of true Hawaiian descent, but at least she looks close enough. And Lilo's actress is of Hawaiian descent, so... But even with Lilo, there are some fans out there who are just complaining that they don't look like the characters at all, and even though they technically are because they are of Hawaiian descent, where the movie is based. And their skin looks dark enough, in my opinion. But, this is a thing with when it comes to live-action remakes of things. Now, even if they do cast someone who looks like the character and who actually looks more like the character than whatever, but they're not of the descendants of what the character is. Like, for example, with Lilo and Stitch, Lilo is Hawaiian, right? So if they didn't get a Hawaiian actress who looks like the character to play her, I can understand why so many people would be upset. Like, if they got a random black actress to play her, then I guarantee you there would be a lot more backlash or whatever. But there's a small percentage of fans who just want to complain about every little detail, and to me that just is not necessary, because this movie was way better than the last live action film, which was unfortunately was Snow White. And of course you have and like I said, you got Chris Sanders back as the voice of Stitch. You had an actual Hawaiian actress playing Lilo, and her first ever movie debut was in a live action Disney movie, so Can't wait to see what her career is like afterwards. And I will say, this movie is actually longer by like 23-ish minutes, I think. Or 28 minutes. Because I think the first movie was between an hour and 20 to an hour and 25 minutes. And and this movie is an hour and 48 minutes, if I remember correctly. So it's at least 20 to 23 minutes longer than the original movie. So we did get to see a lot of different characters, and I even heard that there were people who voiced the original characters in the original animated movie that actually had cameo appearances in this movie, which is kind of cool. I will say that was the one thing I did like about it, is that they always do that with a lot of these Disney live action remakes, if they can, where they have the original voice actors make like small cameos, which was kind of cool. But again, with Lilo and Stitch, I'm thrilled that this movie was actually way better than the last movie, which was Snow White, unfortunately. And anyways, let me give you my rating of this movie. So, like I said, for my rating of Lilo and Stitch in live action form, this was way better than Snow White for sure. And even though it had a few issues, I still really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna give Lilo and Stitch a 4 out of 5. Yep, 4 out of 5 is the rating that I'm giving it, and I gotta say, great film. It had some flaws, but I still think it did way better than friggin' Snow White. I mean, so you expect this movie to be on my best films of the year list. But anyways, that's all for now in this movie review. Now, the next few videos that you see will actually be of me on my trip to Universal Orlando Resort in Florida, so keep an eye out for those videos over the course of the next week. Because as of this recording, starting tomorrow is when I'm going to be making my way to the airport, which was Saturday the 24th. Today's the 23rd as of this recording. So anyways, I will see all of you guys in the next video.